Hey guys, welcome back for another Baker Built Sexy Time Tip of the Week. Today we're talking about a duck-footed stance. What that means is if you're standing up and you look down and both of or one of your feet are turned out like this, then you're in a duck-footed stance. What that means is if you don't have some sort of a congenital defect where you were born in this particular anatomy that keeps your feet turned out slightly, which if you are, there ain't a whole lot you can do about it, but you can still maintain the mobility of the muscles and focus on that sort of thing. If this is something that's caused by just bad habits and poor positioning, and the muscles are just tight, then we can do something about that. If you lay down on your back flat and happen to look down, there's a way you can tell where the cause of this may be. If I'm laying on my back flat and I look down and my feet are turned out and my knees are turned out, then the problem is most likely in my hips. And you can refer to my video about working the piriformis muscle as a way of opening up the hips and kind of repositioning things to bring the knees and feet back together. If, however, you're laying down and your knees are still facing towards the ceiling and your feet are still turned out, then the problem is most likely down here in the lower legs. And there's some stuff you can do with that. Whether you have a lacrosse ball or a foam roller, you can still work these tissues. Today I'm going to be using a lacrosse ball. A foam roller would serve the same purpose. It depends on if you want to get into some really tight areas. If they're hard to get to, the lacrosse ball can be the preferred tool. But work with what you've got, and something is better than nothing. Today, what you're going to do is I'm going to take this ball, I'm going to place it right under my calf, and I'm going to work it back and forth. Now, depending on where you're tight, you'll have to do a little bit of exploring if this is your first time with this. Now, most likely, if this is a rotational issue and everything is going outwards, I'm probably going to start on the outside, this lateral side of my lower leg. That's going to be where a lot of tight tissues are, muscles that kind of help with the arch of your foot and stabilizing the ankle kind of to run through here and can get really bound up. It's common for a lot of people. So I'm going to do is spend some time working this muscle, 2 minutes on each side, and I'm going to do both sides because you never want to mobilize unequally. I'm going to look for the really tight spots. Once I get there, I'm going to hang out for a little while. And there's a couple of things I can do in this position. One is to just sort of slowly work the ball around that trigger point, that really sensitive area. Or when I find it, I can stop, I can flex that muscle really hard for 5 seconds, and then I can relax it for 10. That relaxation kind of drives the ball deeper into the muscle, creates like a pressure wave, and so extending out from there, it's helping to really break up that knot. I can even kind of get in there, and then depending on what's going on, I can work the knee back and forth. I can stop and I can work the ankle. That'll move some muscle tissues up and down and around and kind of work the muscles through the proper range of motion they should be getting, but they're not. Now, I'm going to try, if this is a common issue for you, and it is for a lot of folks, I'm going to spend a lot of time doing this. So this is going to become part of my daily mobility routine. I'm not going to spend an hour doing both legs. I'm not going to spend 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 to 3 sessions a day working this, and that's 1 to 2 minutes on each leg, working the most sensitive areas. Try to space it out throughout the day. That will help get the tissues used to being loose throughout the day, and it'll help restore a normal range of motion. If I do this and in 24 hours I come back and do it again, most likely the muscles have reset to where they're comfortable, and the idea is we want to get them used to having more range of motion and feeling safe in greater range of mobility. So give that a shot. See how it works. Again, we're trying to cure that whole duck-footed position for those of us who have a situation going on like this where either you walk like this or you stand like this whenever you are walking. I'll guarantee you if you're standing like this, you're walking like this and you probably just don't realize it. But take some time, really focus on this, and this can, in the long run, it can help save your ankle joints, it can save your knee joints, it can prevent surgery. A whole lot of things can go wrong if this is a pattern you hold regularly, guys. So give that a shot, see what happens, and let me know. I'll see you guys next time.